That was pretty cool in and of itself, but will it repeat itself as a phenomenon now that the next movie is out? We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. If you're just joining us for the first time, again on Twitch, a lot of new viewers. Thanks a lot for signing up and following along. We take a look at weather around here from the Tennessee River Valley, southeastern United States, North America, Western Hemisphere. We take a look at what's going on with the forecast, mainly for in and around this area. If you've got questions about the weather in general, you can ask them, drop them into the chat function on either YouTube or on Twitch, and we'll be glad to answer what we can. But in the meantime, mainly that's what we do is kind of look around for what's going on locally. If you have a question about something else going on weather-wise, we'll be glad to answer it. If you're on Twitch and looking for something more exciting, video games, cooking demonstrations, dance hall routines, whatever it is that you're looking for, you may not find this quite as exciting, but as a meteorologist, this is where I come in to where I enjoy talking about weather and seeing how we can help people understand a little bit more about what's going on with the atmosphere. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on with anything happening in the way of local weather. Chattanooga and southern Hamilton County in the center portion of your screen, and off toward Cleveland, Tennessee, and over toward the area of Meigs and Monroe County. We've got some thunderstorms trying to develop east of I-75, south and east of Athens, Etowah, south of the Madisonville area, drifting to the northeast at about maybe 15 to 20 miles per hour. Beyond that, we don't have a lot going on. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this is the News 12 viewing area: northwest Georgia, northeast Alabama, southeastern Tennessee, and Cherokee County in North Carolina. That is our viewing area that we cover south of I-40, southwest of Knoxville, southeast of Nashville, and back to the east of the Huntsville area, north of the Atlanta metro. So give you an idea for target zones as to where exactly we are. What we saw today was more chances of showers and thunderstorms, and we will be looking for more of that activity taking place into the next several days. So downtown, looking off to the south, not showing a lot of activity out there. Sylvester the Spider hanging out on the screen over the TVA building, so we do have a little bit of wildlife to show you for tonight. Had a good view earlier, those thunderstorms rumbling across Lookout Mountain and Raccoon Mountain, now looking down toward 153 and 64 on the Plainview Outdoor Advertising camera. From the News 12 studios, looking off toward the west, Lookout Mountain seen in silhouette, Ruby Falls near the center of your screen, lit up quite nicely there. Traffic was pretty nice earlier on, but construction traffic is causing a decent slowdown from 75 north to 24 west. 75 south is moving along, as is 75 north, with a lack of anything involving huge amounts of traffic there, but we are going to continue to watch and see anything happening for the construction zone. Bit of a backup taking place, backup around Cleveland for some reason on the southbound lanes. TDOT is not showing anything in the way of big accident construction. Looks like this might be construction traffic. Once again, give me 2 seconds here just to give you an idea as to what is going on. At this time of night, usually you don't see too much happening, again, outside of construction, and that appears to be what we've got going on for right now. But let me get this loaded up real quick. Let's see, Bonnie Oaks, nope, got to go a little farther. There we go. We're getting a lot of traffic in the southbound lanes, causing a bit of a concern there. So what you're looking at here is southbound 75 heading toward Chattanooga, and northbound 75 heading toward Knoxville. A lot less of a problem there, but it looks like construction going on, or maybe an accident. Can't really tell. If there's no accident marker, have to assume construction. So everything being shunted over into the far left lane as you go across the area. 75 just south, just north of the Highway 64 bypass, and just south of Highway 312 from western Cleveland going down to around Ottawa and just north of McDonald. So we do have, again, some decent amounts of what looks like construction traffic setting up, and that could be a bit of a problem if you are traveling. Not seeing any major concerns with anything going on in the way of problems regarding rain on the roadways. It is sultry out there. The air is thick, 80 degrees the temperature, 70 the dew point, and that is way high. That's a lot of humidity floating around. Winds are calm, not doing anything to cool anybody off at this point in time. It looks like that should be staying the way all the way throughout the rest of the evening. 60s in western North Carolina, 81 at the Chattanooga airport, and then also looking again at 80 around Tryon in Georgia. Everybody else back in the 70s at this time. No heat index to tell you about, thankfully, on that. Probably won't see anything there. 70s and 80s across much of the eastern third of the country, and we'll continue with some very muggy conditions into the next day or two. What we did see on the big picture was a storm system, what's left of one, sitting right to our north and west, up into around portions of the area in and around the mid-south through about central Kentucky. That's that stationary front that you see staying there for right now. For the most part, what we're going to be seeing is that front kind of staying where it is and kind of wobbling back and forth across the area, which means better chances of showers and thunderstorms as long as that system remains around to kind of curb the chances of rain and the potential for scattered showers and thunderstorms into and around the area. We could see a rumble of thunder overnight. Main thing is going to be drizzle, and I think more than anything else, we're going to be seeing more fog than anything really major. This front is going to be slowly dying. There's not going to be that much left of it in the next about 48 hours, so it will be around enough tomorrow to, again, focus some of that rain, shower, and thunderstorm activity. Drier air to the north, more sultry, moisture-rich air to the south. And then that, as long as that system sticks around, we'll be focusing that chance of rainfall right along our particular area. But that front will devolve into a trough, and then our next storm system swings in from the northwest. That will once again take our chances of showers and thunderstorms up by a little bit, including getting a new area of low pressure forming back toward the mid-south area. As that front sweeps through by about Friday, we might see lesser amounts of precipitation in the morning, but I think we'll see more opportunities for that coming up as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. So that is where we see the potential continuing for those chances of showers and thunderstorms out there. We may see again overnight tonight the potential of a generic threat of thunderstorms, marginal threat off toward the coastal areas of North Carolina, another possibility of widespread thunderstorms into Tuesday, and likewise into Wednesday. So we're not seeing anything in the way of drier weather coming through anytime soon. We are seeing not quite as cool conditions on the Climate Prediction Center. We're seeing that all the way down to the southwest of us around the Big Bend area and the Rio Grande, west of Houston and down toward Corpus Christi and Brownsville. That'll be the coolest conditions, so to speak, that we will see. We're going to be more normal, but we are starting to get back toward those warmer conditions. The really hot weather will be in the high plains, the Great Plains, the upper Midwest, and toward the Great Lakes. That is where we may see the potential for some hotter conditions in the next several days, giving the Great Plains areas a chance to kind of dry out by just a little bit. So what does that mean for us when it comes to the immediate forecast for the next few days? We are going to be seeing the possibility, again, of showers and thunderstorms. Nothing going on at Island Cove Marina and Resort, but into the next few days after patchy fog into tomorrow, temperatures will be in the lower to mainly the mid-80s, although toward the end of the week we may wind up pushing 90 degrees by Sunday. We will also see chances of showers and thunderstorms over the next several days. So outdoor activities, we're getting close to two-a-day athletic practices for a lot of high school, middle school, college sports. We are also getting closer to marching band practice out there, so for anything happening, you probably will be able to get some practice time in, but keep in mind when you see lightning or hear thunder, it's time to wrap things up and get off the marching band practice field, the football field, the baseball field, soccer field, wherever you happen to be. Let's be cautious out there. Now, normal for this time of the year on high temperatures is about, give or take, 90 degrees. So we will be seeing temperatures pushing the high 80s going into the weekend. Whether or not it stays that way toward the rest of the week, we may see those dips taking place lower to mid 80s into the first half of the week and then warming up latter half of the week into the weekend. So we may begin to get just a little bit of some relief for a longer period of time. Now, as we go toward next week end and as we go toward next Monday, which is the 29th, this will be the last full week of July. And temperatures remaining below normal in July, that is not too shabby, you have to admit. So numbers with chances of rain could be a problem for outdoors, but the heat at least will not be a major concern. It is still going to be rather on the humid and sultry side out there. Few flashes of lightning off in the distance as we have some of those thunderstorms popping up. So we will continue again to see more of that activity for the next couple of days at the very least. So some good news again where that is concerned. We could use the help because as of right now, at least as of last week, and with the amount of rain we did not pick up during the weekend, yes, we got some, but not everybody got rainfall. So we are now 6 1/3 inches behind for the year where it comes to the official Chattanooga recording station at the airport. 3 inches even behind for the month of July. So this has been a very dry middle part of the year for this area. 89 the high, 91 the normal, record high of 103 set back in 1952, and 8 years before that a record low of 57 degrees. If that's as cold as you can get around here at this time of the year, you know you are smack in the middle of summertime. Absolutely, no question about that. So looking at less than stellar conditions for being outdoors for longer periods of time, but at least it's not going to be quite as oppressive as it could be for this time of the year. So definitely some good news on that. Let's take a look at the tropics and show you that we don't have a lot happening. The Pacific has 2 disturbances. The first one, a little farther to the west, might be affecting Hawaii, give or take, in about a week or two, but it's got a lot of ground to cover before it heads out into the central Pacific. And both of these have little, if anything, taking place in the way of a big ramp up of energy. Likewise, for the Atlantic Basin, not seeing a lot going on at this point, so nothing official. We are seeing some fairly healthy waves of energy coming off of West Africa. So this might be something that we need to keep an eye on as that moves out farther into the Atlantic. But as of right now, we are seeing plenty of dust that is going to be absorbing the moisture that these systems could use. Now, if they take a far enough track southward to avoid most of this, then we could see some development. And if it stays that way, heading around northern South America, we might see the potential of some development that could ramp up very quickly. Now, if you've been paying attention to the National Hurricane Center and several on-air, online weather sources, they are saying that a big uptick in the weather around the eastern Pacific is going to be indicative of another big uptick an ocean away back on the other side of Central America. So it's possible that activity here could trigger a lot of activity going on back into the Caribbean, close to the Gulf, and out into the mid-Atlantic. So that is where we could be looking at the potential for some big problems happening in the next, give or take, about 10 days or so. This is where, at this time from July to August, is where the, so to speak, switch flips, and we start to see more activity develop, and in some cases rapidly, over portions of the mid-Atlantic. So if you are going anywhere near the coastlines, anywhere to, say, island vacations, Jamaica, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, the Gulf of Mexico, the East Coast, now, as we go into that big chunk of summer where we're still ramping up on the potential for more development. Now is the time to pay very close attention to what is going on in regards to what is happening with, again, anything in the way of the possibility of more development in the next several days, or again, about a couple of weeks, give or take. It's not going to be immediate, but it is possible that we could see one or multiple systems developing here, again, depending on the temperature of the ocean, depending on how much dust is coming off the Sahara, depending on, a lot can happen. But according to the best minds out there, this is where we could be seeing, again, a big uptick very, very soon where it comes to tropical activity. So now, before you head off on vacation, is the time to really focus in on being flexible and paying attention, being weather aware. I know we toss that phrase out a lot, but it means a lot because you need to pay attention for your own safety. The whole phrase of a system striking without warning is pretty much very trite and old and very overused, and it's not true anymore because the amount that you can pick up on a system like this with total complete internet access to all the forecasts from the major forecasting agencies, and with radar and satellite and all sorts of other data, it's a good bet that you are not going to get hit without warning if you pay attention to what is going on. So for right now, that is something that we are going to be focusing on, is tropical storm development, because that could happen very quickly in the course of the next several days to the next, say, give or take about 2 weeks. So keep it tuned to News 12. We'll keep you updated on that and let you know more about what's happening. Definitely a time to get cooled off. Thank you very much, Cheryl Hale from Red Bank, Tennessee. Not too sure who owns the ice cream truck, but thanks very much for putting them in the picture. Kay Blevins was saying she has to find out where this truck is located. So thank you very much for a beautiful weather window. Looks like key lime pie ice cream to me, and I probably should get one of those coming up pretty soon. Again, if you've got pictures for the weather window, please let us know. Email them, drop them to our website, wdef.com/photos. Drop them to our social media pages. We'd love to see what you're seeing, and yours could be the next Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. So thank you very much for all those who have sent in pictures over the last few days and weeks. All right, from the friendinroofing.com weather poll of the day, of all lightning injuries total throughout the entire year. This information comes to you courtesy of the Centers for Disease Control. They monitor a lot about injuries and fatalities and things like that. How many of those occur indoors? And yes, they can occur online. You have a phone that is connected to the power supply, a landline phone, if you're standing too close to an open window, if you're taking a shower during the middle of an electrical storm, you can be injured or killed by lightning very, very easily. So how many of those, a percentage of those, occur indoors? 1/4, 1/3, 1/2, or 3/4 of all lightning injuries? 25% of you said 63% of you said 1/4, and actually that was the most popular answer, but actually the winning answer was 1/3, 33%, and 31 of you got that. Congratulations to Mr. Andrew Harrison, my co-anchor. He got that correct tonight. He's been in sort of a drought lately, so nice that he was able to see that, guess that particular answer out there for this evening. That should pretty much do it, I think, for tonight. Got a couple more things to talk about. Again, going for the great outdoors in the next couple of days. Please be cautious and watch what goes on, because we will see more potential of that lightning out there for the next few days. I don't think it's going to be a total washout, but I do think you need to pay attention to what's going on with the weather, and especially that includes those of you out there who are going to be going out holding a big metal rod on a big flat grassy surface with metal cleats on your feet and lightning around. That is particularly dangerous. So if you see lightning, if lightning is detected on your phone, your app device, time to head back into the clubhouse and stay there until those storms have gone safe distance of 20 to 30 miles away. So let's all be practicing good lightning safety in the course of the next several days. This is pretty interesting from earlier on, the last couple of days. that we've been seeing this with the Twisters movie, plural. The information out there is neat to be able to see that NOAA was lending some of their experts to the producers of this movie so they could advise on storm chasing and tornadoes and things like that. And so far, the reviews I've heard from people here at News 12 has been pretty positive out there. But one of the things that NOAA does, the National Severe Storms Laboratory, talking about, yes, it's fun to watch a movie about storm chasing. Yes, it's fun to explore tornadoes and the most deadly weather on the planet. But chasing tornadoes, do not attempt it yourself unless you have been highly trained. They are deadly forces of nature, and you do not want to be messing around with them. So once again, if you have any plans for being outdoors and seeing these things, you do not jump in your car, your truck, go off and chase a tornado. It might be the last mistake that you ever make. So please, please, please do not do anything like that until you have been properly trained. You want to get started on that? Great. Go take a Skywarn course and learn more about what to look for when severe weather is going on. Now, on that note, another article from NOAA today on the same NOAA.gov website, the information that came out after Twister, the original movie back in '96. After that movie came out, there was a spike in meteorology majors at colleges and universities that offered that particular course of study. Well, now that Twisters is out, are we going to see the exact same thing? Wish we could see the great prices that we used to have back in '96, and even then we thought that was expensive. But if you'd like to know more about not just storm chasers, the people who do it for a hobby, there's not really money in going out and chasing storms, except for maybe a prime few, and some of those really need to learn a little bit more about how to handle severe weather situations. A meteorologist who studies the data that comes in from things like the Doppler on Wheels program, that is a more interesting in-look with research, postdoc abilities to take a look at anything that goes on inside of a storm. That is where the real research goes on. If you'd like to see it, you can go to NOAA.gov, or you can go to our website just below the forecast on the weather page, WDEF.com/weather. It's going to be interesting in the next couple of years to see if we do wind up with more people actually taking the course out there. Don't forget, if you want to learn more about astronomy, the Barnard Astronomical Society, weather permitting, will be holding a star party coming up next weekend. Not this weekend, but the weekend after. Again, it'll be held at Cloudland Canyon State Park, disc golf area. That's in Rising Fawn, Georgia. You don't have to take along any telescopes or binoculars. They've got everything there that you can look through if you like. And if there is a weather situation to where they have to postpone or cancel, go to their website and their social media pages, and they will announce whether or not they're going to postpone or cancel the event. More details at their website, barnardastronomy.org, if you'd like to take a look there. And once again, if you haven't had the chance to take a look at what NOAA does, find out more at an open house. The National Weather Service forecast offices, there are 4 of them that cover the News 12 viewing area. Well, if you'd like to find out more from the one that covers Chattanooga and Southeast Tennessee, you can go to their office coming up on Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and join them for an open house. Watch a balloon launch. Watch the weather balloon go up to take measurements in the atmosphere. Have an opportunity to tour the office floor. Speak with the other agencies and core partners, anybody who works with National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, local emergency managers, local elected officials depend on this information, and find out more about the warnings and the products that they issue. They don't just talk about climate change. They also talk about keeping you and me and everybody else in this area safe. What goes into issuing a warning? How do they read the radar information? Where do they get their information from? A lot of folks out there like to toss around the moniker fake news or fake science. Well, here's your chance to go ask the experts specifically. If you totally believe that the world is flat, there's nothing I can really do to help you except urge you to take a look at what NASA shows and the fact that all the evidence we have going back to the time that semi-round shadows were being cast on the moon during eclipses, even back into around the golden age of Greek and Roman societies, we can tell that the planet is round by observation and by studying science and mathematics. The same principles apply here. A lot of folks apparently have problems with NOAA these days, which is sad, and a lot of people want to get rid of NOAA for a privatized agency to take over. That is one of the most short-sighted and fairly stupid ideas that I've ever heard in my entire life. So if you'd like to ask questions of NOAA directly, here's your opportunity. Great opportunity to stop by and find out more from the experts at the National Weather Service. Again, September 28th, that's coming up in a couple of months. Give you an idea, give you an early warning to get that on your calendar and to talk more about what's going on. If you're in the area, please take advantage of this. These open houses are rare. They happen, but not that often. So if you'd like to take a look around, here's a great opportunity to do so. And of course, more information on this is available also on our weather page at wdef.com/weather. All right, I think that should do it for tonight. So I think we're going to go ahead and toss it back to your regular Monday evening programming. Questions, concerns, ideas. If you'd like to see our 7-day forecast in the lower left-hand corner of our screen, go to our website, wdef.com/weather. If you've got questions, concerns, email me here at aonic@wdef.com. You can find all of our reporters and anchors and other team members on our website. If you have a question or you have a story idea, we'd love to see them. We'd love to hear them. 90% of our ideas for what goes on air comes from viewers like you. So if you have suggestions, don't keep it to yourself. Maybe we can cover it, maybe we can't, but we won't know until you let us know about those things. So please send us that information. We'd love to know more about what you are seeing out there. All right, that should do it for tonight. Coming up, we'll take a look tomorrow night at how the weather may be looking into the month of August, which is getting a little bit warmer according to what we've been seeing so far on the medium-range forecast models. We'll talk about that. We'll take a look at how the tropics are doing. Hopefully that doesn't ramp up anytime soon, but we will be keeping a very close eye on that and potential severe weather around here. So have that severe weather plan ready to go just in case. And if you're traveling anywhere to the coast in the next couple of weeks, this is the time to watch out and see what is happening in case you have to get out of an area you're traveling to, because you don't want to be stuck there when a major storm is bearing down on you from portions of the Atlantic or the Gulf. Now is the time to be very weather aware, especially where your vacations are concerned. All right, Chip Chapman has your forecast bright and early tomorrow morning starting at 5 a.m. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onyx. Stay tuned for much more with News 12 on air and online, and we'll see you again coming up on Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us.